and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here with your astrology port this week. Unfortunately, I can't do the cards. I will stay till the end because I will pull a card for the energy of the week and maybe solution oriented. But that's at the end. Now, welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I do 12 astrology tarot readings per week. Unfortunately, the last few weeks I haven't been able to do that. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love you guys. Thank you. The reason that I haven't been able to do it, I've been traveling, and I'm here in England because my mother is preparing to leave this physical plane, and so we have, as a collective family, we have moved her into a beautiful care home in Nottingham where I grew up, and so I've been there facilitating that and settling her in and spending time with her, and you know, I'll probably have to come back in a few weeks, but we have to see how things go. Now, so I'm here now, guys, and I had to do this astrology report because it is so important for us to be prepared for this. There's so much going on. It's very exciting. So we start off, this is for the week of the 23rd through the 30th. Happy birthday, Leo, all you Leos out there. This is your season. And so let's talk about what's going to happen astrology and with the transits and the aspects this week. Now, on the 24th, on Tuesday, we have Venus in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces. This will probably manifest in our, well, first of all, Venus is the planet of love and relationship, and Virgo is order and structure, and it's a little probably too structured for Venus. So be careful. You know, the shadow side of Virgo is criticism. So be careful of self-criticism and criticizing others. Please be aware of that in this coming week on Tuesday. Now, this can manifest also in our finances. We could, because it's opposing Neptune in Pisces, Neptune's very ethereal, it's spiritual, it's very dreamy, it's illusion, delusional. So we have to be, we might find that we might suddenly think, wow, where did our money go? How did that just go? It's just gone. And on the other hand, we might notice that money's just coming out of nowhere, just appearing like magically. So on the 24th, on Thursday, we have Mercury in retrograde. So if we don't have enough happening, right? So that can be that can be miscommunication, that can be delays in travel. That happened to me. We're in the shadow of it now. So when we know that Mercury's in retrograde, we have to understand, we have to be very clear and concise about how we communicate. So I am going to apologize in advance if I've messed up on any of my communication. I'm putting it all down to Mercury in retrograde. I'm in the shadow. So you know, when we know that Mercury's in retrograde, we can just accept it and not get frustrated and angry, and we can move on. Now, the big news, guys, is Friday, the 26th, the full moon in the full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius, opposing the sun in Leo. Now, the full moon lunar eclipse, this is called a blood moon, and it's really because the color of the moon is kind of reddish because of how the sun reflects on it. And it's a very, very powerful eclipse. This eclipse is, it's, first of all, the duration is really long. That's highly unusual. It lasts for about 1 hour and 23 minutes. And eclipses are like, you know, punctuation marks. They're the endings and the beginnings of something. Something needs to be cleared away. I always think of the eclipse almost like the tower in a way, right? things need to, the tarot, in the tarot card, things need to move away, and in order to make room for the new. Now, it is in the South Node, right? The South Node is the past. Leo in, the Sun in Leo is in the North Node, right opposite. We also have Mars in retrograde on the South Node. Now, all this, and we have a powerful T-square. Those of you who are not really familiar with the technical aspects of astrology, it means that there are some challenging relationships within the planets going on. Now, astrology, for me, is all about co-creating with the energies that are available. So when you're aware of these energies that are coming, you can prepare yourself and react or respond accordingly. People will kind of have the tendency to flare up, just respond to it differently. This is a time where things might come up from the past, and it's a really good time to look at what is it that you have done again and again and again, which is not working for you? How have you reacted to a situation that just has not worked out for you? It could be disciplining your child in a certain way and it's not working. This is a time to release those old behaviors, things that no longer work for us, that don't work for us. It's recognizing what works for us and what doesn't, and it's moving forward differently. It's like not reacting to a certain situation in the same old way. It's thinking outside the box. It's being creative. It's doing something in a different way. It's moving forward. It's slothing the old you, right? And moving forward, renewed. This is an opportunity to release old behaviors, and when you are aligned with the energies, right? If you're aware of what's happening, you can say, it's like, when your travel plans get cancelled, you can get all frustrated and angry and or you can say, oh, that's Mercury in retrograde. What can you do? Let me just see what I can do. It's like live in the solution, right? That's the name of my business, liveinthesolution.com. It's about co-creating with the energies that are available to us. It's about going for, and of course, it's going forward heart-centered. That's Leo in the North Node. The Sun in Leo in the North Node. It's about leaving the old behind in the South Node, this eclipse, and moving forward as a completely, some people will have completely different lives after. And it may not just happen on the day, and for some people it will, but it can happen over a period of a few weeks or months in some cases. But change, nonetheless, is on the horizon, and we need to be prepared for it. And it's not about being in fear. It's about being courageous. And courageous, it's not about not being in fear. It's not about not having any fear at all. Fear is a natural feeling. It's an emotion that's there to help us survive, right? So, being courageous doesn't mean you don't have fear. It just means that you're going forward anyway. And always change is for the better. Always. I'm sorry, I keep knocking this. So we need to be aware of what we need to change. Now, in that process, when we're looking at what hasn't worked for us and how we need to change, we must be very cautious not to criticize ourselves. It's not about beating ourselves up. It's not about criticizing ourselves. It's about moving forward. It's about looking at something critically in a way, right? But in a way that's not demoralizing, because then we'll become the victim. We need to be able to look at something dispassionately in a way so that we can see what analytically, if you will, so we can see what's working for us. Eclipses and full moons really about the culmination of something, you know, it's endings and beginnings, right? So we're going into, you know, we're going to release things from the past and we're going to move forward into the future. Now, it's about remaining calm. It's about being loving. It's about being heart-centered. And in Aquarius, so we want to think of the collective. We want to take action. Now, Mars is in the South Node too, and Mars is about us taking action. So we need to take action in the right direction. And we need to go forward, as I said before, heart-centered and peacefully, right? And to think of the collective group. What action can I take that's for the higher good of everyone? It's about being a humanitarian, and it's about, you know, it's about thinking differently. It's about different ideas, because Aquarius is about the mind. It's about thinking. So it's about releasing old ways of thinking, and I always say it's about responding as opposed to reacting. So I feel that this is a wonderful opportunity. This is change, but it's a wonderful opportunity to co-create, you know, to take that action. I always say the Tower isn't so bad when you take the action, you make the change. Don't allow the change don't be a victim of life. It's about taking back your power. This eclipse is about taking back your power. You know, it's not about control, though. You see, this is about taking action. It's about empowerment, right? It's about being empowered. And it's probably going to have a lot to do with finances and relationships. So I am just going to shuffle a card and let's see what wonderful advice. This is actually the fairy deck. I didn't even realize I had this out. This is the fairy deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. So let's see what the fairies have to tell us. What do the fairies have to tell us? What wonderful advice and guidance, spiritual guidance, can we get for this coming week for the full moon, the blood moon lunar eclipse? Oh, okay. So, oh, look at that. We had quite a few. The Magician, darling. I can do anything. I can take control. I have all the elements at my disposal, and I can co-create. Remember, you are the co-creator. And the Queen of Winter, strong, patient, self-sufficient, witty, funny, and it's like, let go of people and things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career and what you need to do to move forward in a positive way. And you, oh my God, this is so what's happening with the eclipse. The next card is Justice. Take the time to review details carefully. This is also reminds me of Mercury in retrograde, right? You will win in the air. This is always about making fair and objective decisions. So this is like making, you know, the right choice for the right reason. So I'm falling out here. And this is the Five of Autumn. If you're struggling, you need to reach out. You need to ask for help, right? Don't just try to do this alone. Ask for help. This is about, we're coming into the age of Aquarius. This is about we, us, as opposed to me and I. Ask for that help. You may be feeling challenged, definitely. And you've got, see, this is what can happen with when Uranus is at play. You can have, you know, falling in love suddenly, being swept away. This is the Prince of Summer, darling. This is about, you know, love coming in, romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious. This is asking you to stay grounded. Don't get carried away with those feelings of, you know, knight on a shining armor coming in. Just, you know, keep it in. And you've got the Two of Winter. So if there is a decision, guys, you need to make it. You need to take action on any decision this week, because not making a decision will hold you back. And make the choice that is best for you and for the higher good of those around you. Don't try to please others. And this is saying feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. It's being in your head. It's definitely Aquarius, isn't it? And then, of course, opposing the sun in Leo, which is all heart-centered. So this is about being balanced. I always say this is also about being balanced. But don't procrastinate on decision making. You know, and I always say, when you go inside, the answer's inside. So you can make a decision that is where your mind and your heart are connected. That's the most intelligent decision that you can make. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, and comment. I love comments. I answer every comment that requires an answer. Also, please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the information will be in the show more section below, and join me on Patreon. Please become a patron. And that information and that link will be below too. And if you would like a personal reading, the information will be below too, or on my left. Is it my left or my right? I think it'll be up here. Could be up here. I'm out of practice. I got it really right the last few times I recorded. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I really love and appreciate you all, and I will see you all next week. Babies, look at them. How old do you think they are, Kathleen?
For a personal reading, please go to www.liveinthesolution.com.
They're at the ugly duckling stage.
Maybe 4 weeks. I can make it.
No, I'm just saying that because of the
No, I know.
story.